Project Stakeholders Video Presentation Introduction. It is my pleasure to present Stakeholder Education Plan on implementation of my DMP project. Stakeholder Education Plan deals with people I will collaborate with in implementing my project in an organization setup. My project is titled Utilization of Deep Breathing in Decreasing Depression in Adults in Community-Based Church Setting. As a DMP student, DMP Essentials requires us to implement evidence-based innovative projects in satisfaction for the award of doctorate degree in nursing. Given that the prevalence of depression is high in American society and affecting productivity, I decided to do an intervention involving the utilization of deep breathing exercise in reducing depression at a minimum cost. Deep breathing exercise appears simple, but for maximum effect, it is important to identify evidence-based approaches that has been used to decrease depression. My project, therefore, will add to existing evidence used to decrease depression, NIMH 2016. Stakeholders' role. I will begin this discussion by identifying who constitutes my stakeholders and the role I will collaborate with in implementing my project. Stakeholders are those that are responsible in my setting in the execution of processes that the project implementer will collaborate with for successful implementation. For the purpose of implementing my project, the following have been identified with their specific roles. Chief Operating Officer. The Chief Operating Officer is the parish priest who drives the parish. He has the tone for the congregation. The Clinical Director. In my setting, this happens to be the parish chairman who have day-to-day function of the organization and interface with the congregation regularly. The manager. In my setting, this happens to be the parish clerk who coordinates all the activities and documents whatever is going on in the parish. He sits at the meeting and takes notes. The parish workers. There are other groups like men and women, wings, chairmen, chairladies that coordinates church members in group for easy running of the parish. Finally, members of the church in general. The investigator needs to have good relationship at the grassroots level to ensure that members buy into the project. Theoretical foundation and conceptual framework. Organizations in search of improvement and increasing their bottom line are constantly in search of innovative ways to do business. In healthcare, providers are constantly looking out for their patients with the view to increasing patient outcome at minimum cost. With the current economic downturn, it is becoming hard for low-income people to access quality healthcare. Deep breathing exercise, therefore, is an intervention used in various circles to reduce depression and anxiety. According to one study by NIMH 2016, it was identified that exercise resulted in decrease of depression among people aged 20 to 70 years. In another development, according to Kessler 2011, it was found out that exercise really improved depression at a reduced cost. Deep breathing exercise has been in existence for a long time. People used it to calm down without knowing that they were using coping strategy. The problem is that it was not properly used for maximum effect to improve moods. This project, therefore, is intended to educate people on evidence-based way that reduces depression. Educational needs of each group. There is no doubt that the implementation of any new project will need some education for stakeholders to buy into the project. Stakeholders want to know what is in it for them. Why should they abandon the method they are used to and switch to yours? These are nagging questions one's educational plan should address. To achieve these educational goals, I will first of all have an education meeting with the Chief Operating Officer, who in this case is the Reverend Father. I will explain to him the benefits inherent in deep breathing exercise and need for his congregation to embrace it. These include benefits relating to less trip to the clinic and less trip to see the Reverend Father or priest for prayers when challenged with depression. Secondly, I will do a general meeting with the parish chairman and other members working in the parish with the view of selling the intervention to them. I will use the meeting to educate them on the benefit of my project, which include reduction of hospital trips and health costs to the members of the church. I will also print out leaflets to leave behind for them to familiarize themselves on how to perform evidence-based deep breathing exercise. Implementation and intervention plan. Implementation of any project is usually challenging. I will therefore create an enabling environment during the pilot run and post-run of the implementation. My implementation will actually start with selection of my participants. I will select 20 participants through an unbiased selection criteria. Using the apparatus of the church bulletin, participants are informed and selected. The next thing is to schedule for selections where I will teach them how to perform evidence-based deep breathing exercise. I will utilize PowerPoints and projectors to demonstrate this. To ensure that participants understand the process, I will request for return demonstration after demonstrating to them evidence-based way to perform deep breathing exercise. PHQ-9 assessment tools will be administered before and after deep breathing exercise, and results will be compared pre and post intervention. Simon 2013. Upon ascertaining that participants are conversant with the procedure, I will run a pilot program with the church and monitor how it has changed their quality of life. Conclusion. In conclusion, I believe that my organization will embrace my innovative product because the benefit of improved mood outweighs the cost of implementation, according to NIM 8 2017. This evidence-based approach in decreasing depression no doubt will appeal to community-based church members who are constantly searching for low health costs. Thank you. My reference is below. Bye.